I think it's probably, given that he's 23 and he's approaching that upper level of the scouted football age range, it's probably a good idea to discuss him on a pod. I think, the big question from a lot of people outside of Scottish football is, is he going to move on? When is he going to move on? How much are you going to make on that initial £9 million investment? I think in terms of value for money signings, he's an enormous one. The fact that you are going to make such a mint on him, but it comes back to that Aya question. How are you going to replace a player who's scored, God knows, 70 odd goals in 2.5-3 seasons at the club?
He's pretty much got a goal contribution per start, because people forget that he wasn't necessarily a starter when he first came. He was kind of like understudy to Dembele in many ways. And I remember Dembele being like, he was painfully shy when he first arrived in Glasgow, and we had to really try and get him out of his shell. And then there was kind of flashes under Rodgers, that goal against Rangers where he was brought on and we won 3-2 with a man down. I think was probably a seminal moment for him. But yeah, just a classy guy, man. And unfortunately, I think PSG have got a 20 to 30% sell-on clause. So regardless of what we sell him for, they're getting a big old chunk of it. And we took a hit knowingly, not selling him in like last summer or in January for upwards of 30 mil. I think it might have got around 35 to 40 mil at one point, because we were so desperate to secure the 10. And obviously our lack of sort of contingency plan without him looked horrific. So we kept him, like I said, took the devaluation. And I think probably 20 to 25 this summer, like with a year left on his contract, wants to go. Celtic need their money for the rebuild, not in the strongest negotiating position. Which is unfortunate, because I can see his value doubling as soon as he moves and has a good run of form. And like you said, you intimated about his link-up play earlier. He's not a one dynamic player. There's lots of things he can do very well. I think even if you put him in a side, he doesn't have to be the focal point, doesn't have to be the central striker. Probably can play in that wide left channel. In maybe like a 4-3-3 as well. So yeah, he's going to be a real gift for someone, I think.
Oh, absolutely. I think, yeah. I mean, it comes down to the fact that, a lot of teams and a lot of people in football probably do think, well, he's been fantastic in Scotland, but is that going to be scalable? Where's the scalability here? Is he going to show that in a bigger league? And I mean, the consensus from us at Scouted is that absolutely, wherever he goes, if he's taken into a system which really, really caters to his strengths. And, it wouldn't even be necessary to do that, because he's such a talented player anyway. He's, as you say, he's moldable. He's versatile he's mobile, despite the fact that, people might think of him as just this sharpshooter. I think he's just a fantastic player. And yeah, it would be a shame to see him leave, because, I mean, first of all, one of the best songs on the Terraces in years, I think, the Stone Roses remake.
Yeah, class.
I think that's absolutely brilliant. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to sing it, because I've got a bit of a sore throat.
Although not as good as the Scott Sinclair one.
Go on, refresh my memory.
If you can remember that. No, now you mentioned a hoarse throat, so I'm struggling. This is well past 6 p.m. I've been doing videos and all sorts, Joe. I have a bit of decorum, mate. But I think if you want to go and check out the Scott Sinclair one, that probably edges it for me. But yeah, like you said, great chant, great memories. Maybe it was a shame not to see him in more knockout games. In European football. But hey ho, like again, we'll go back to that Copenhagen game at home at Parkhead, where we got knocked out in the round of 32 in the Europa League after beating Lazio home and away. Early signs that Neil Lennon was not winging it, but not far off.